Good evening and welcome to the Kern High Network on KernHighNetwork.com. Coming to you live this evening from Bakersfield, California. Stockdale High School, home of the Stockdale Mustangs, where the Mustangs take on the Liberty Patriots this evening. And tonight's game being brought to you by Kern Schools Federal Credit Union and the U.S. Army. Good evening, everybody. I'm Tom Myers, joined up here on the top of the bleachers by my good friend Kyle Wiley, Kevin Willie on camera this evening, here to help us out. Coming to you, as our friend Vance Palm would say, the cozy confines of the Stockdale High School Gymnasium. And across the court from us, of course, the ever-present black hole, the heart and soul of the rooting community here for the Mustangs. And Kyle, we've got kind of a couple of storylines that we're going to get to this evening, but you know, what a contest we've got set up tonight. You know, the Mustangs coming into the league play at 2-4 right now. Yeah. A couple of decent wins. Yeah. And then, of course, you know, Patriots 5-1 out the gate, and they've only lost to one competitor so far, and that would be Garces, who is perfect on the season. Yeah, it's kind of a tale of two different paths that are going on right now. Liberty's kind of caught a little bit of a hot streak, a little bump in the road against Garces. They'll end up playing Garces on Thursday. They got a healthy slate. Ferreira and Burt are kind of leading the way as the captains, and they got Camarillo that brings the hammer on the outside. They're loaded with talent, and kind of the opposite end when we scheduled this game early on is to kind of feature two of the top talents. And unfortunately for Stockdale, their top star player, Macy Haddad, suffered a high ankle sprain, and she's going to be sidelined, it looks like, for a good portion of the rest of the regular season. Trying to get her back in the playoffs and all that. Coach Kolatz is excited, but it's just been kind of a different path, and this is the nature of high school athletics. Is sometimes in high school you just need one person, I say one dude or dudette or whatever you want to call it right there, to really anchor a team. And you talked about the black hole being the kind of the heartbeat for this Stockdale community. The heartbeat for the Stockdale Mustang volleyball team has got to be Macy Haddad. Yeah, and you know what? Liberty's going to find out pretty quickly. Just like they did on Thursday night when Frontier took them to 5 sets, an unexpected 5 sets at that, after Frontier had been blanked at home by the Liberty Patriots earlier in the season. So, you know, the Black Hole definitely going to have a little bit to say about tonight's game. We've got a lot of storylines that we're going to get to this evening, and, you know, what a fantastic venue to be in here late in the season. We're in the last couple of weeks of league play, and, you know, right now, again, Naomi Jennings also out for the Stockdale Mustangs this evening, and as well as defensive specialist Kenzie Villavazzo. We're not going to see her as either. She's in street clothes this evening as well. So I did have a conversation earlier with the coach for the Patriots, Amy Parker, and Amy said that she's not looking past this game at all because the ebb and flow of the game gets thrown off just a little bit. And so, you know, you got different players that are coming at you that you're not used to. The speed may slow down a little bit, so we're going to find out. Well, now we're going to go down to the court for the player introductions and the national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Stockdale High School. For tonight's Southwest Yosemite League Varsity Women's Volleyball.
You know, as they're announcing right now, one thing we did talk about is a team. And I talked with Coach Parker before as well, and she said, the biggest fear that she has is that our girls play down and they could play up. You know what I mean? Stockdale has nothing to lose tonight going into this game, so we'll see what happens.
First, we'll introduce the non-starters, then the starters for Liberty High School.
So they're going to go through the roster here pretty quickly, and they're going to announce all the non-starting players and those coming off the bench before they announce the starting lineups for each team. Every school does it different. Yeah. Frontier High School, I'm the announcer over there. I announce both lines, just everybody.
And you're the DJ. Don't let people forget about that. You play some good music out there.
Yeah, we try to kick it old school is what I've been told. And you know, what a great environment to have high school volleyball and basketball coming up just after this. We're going to be doing some basketball this season. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, we got a healthy slate. Of course, what has really driven the cog is kind of a reflection of society, but football is kind of the biggie that we have. Is we have 2 games every Friday night to go on there, but we're really excited about the basketball season. North High has a grand opening of its new gym, and that game's going to be featured the Monday after Thanksgiving. And then the Tuesday after that is another big game. So we go Monday, North against Centennial in the grand opening of the North. The Monday after Thanksgiving, the Tuesday is going to be Ridgeview guys and girls against BHS guys and girls at Ridgeview. And that's a huge game. You're talking about Division I, Division II powerhouses that are on there. I think Ridgeview's up in D1 this year. See how Coach Martin responds to that as well. And then the Wednesday after that, and you'll be a part of this, and we're still in the beginning phases, Volleyball All-Star Game coming on the Wednesday after Thanksgiving, and so I know you've been a part of that the last few years for the Kern High School District.
I had a talk with Tom Haskell. He's already penciled me in as the PA announcer that night, so I'm pretty sure you and Vance will be staring at you two up in the top.
We'll sneak you in somehow. We always get you in somehow to get in there.
And the All-Star Game, always a fun event. We get a lot of fans out for that. And,
absolutely.
You know, we get to showcase all the talent in Kern High School District, and boy, that's just a blast to see that.
And one thing, you talk about showcasing all the talent. This year, we covered a number of schools in volleyball. Didn't get to all the schools this year, kind of like last year with football. We didn't get to all the schools, but this year in football, we're getting all doing. The goal is next year is to get every single team a little exposure of their volleyball team and what the things are doing. And we're all about promoting active participation. It's not about the wins and losses all the time, but just promoting and giving every student their moment in the sun.
Yeah, and you and I have had multiple conversations this season about, you know, it's not about the number one teams and just showcasing the top teams. It's about giving every kid their due. All these kids work hard. And you and I are big fans of kids. We really enjoy this and really enjoy watching them succeed. And I've got two children still in high school, and just watching them do what they do is a lot of fun. So,
all right. See if there's a national anthem coming on here. Looks like they're going to shake it up.
Looks like they are going to
maybe not
skip it or wait. Looks like he's getting out his iPod. I'm not quite sure if we're going to be doing the national anthem or not. And it looks like he may have probably let them blow the whistle a little early. I think he's going to let both teams huddle up here real quick. Kind of, get their last minute team organization together, and then we'll see if they're going to actually start the national anthem here.
There could be some technical difficulties that are going on there.
Live sports is fun, isn't it?
Hey, we just roll with the punches right here. Very interesting enough, just walk by in the front right down here next to the gentleman with the hat is Peyton Renz of Liberty High School, who actually finished number 2 in the SWYL girls tennis individuals today. Lost a tight one to the girl at Garces. And what about camaraderie is she just had a tennis match and is coming out here to be a sense of support for the Liberty Patriots. What a great thing to see.
Yeah, and her parents were horrible athletes in high school. It's no wonder that she's done so well. Yeah, I say that with a severe amount of sarcasm. Both of her parents were stellar athletes in high school. Her mother, Yvette, a fantastic volleyball player, and her father, a pretty decent football player, and all-around athlete.
And number 2 down here for Liberty Patriots is Reese Renz. So I'm sure she's supporting little sister, but also supporting her school as we get underway.
Yeah, Liberty Patriots are going to start off the match to serve. Back to serve number 5, Elise Ferreira. Ferreira with a good set and a good dig there on the defense. And a dink, and they kind of quit playing before that play was over. There was a couple of plays last week, same thing. They might want to be careful about that. As sometimes the play's not over till the whistle's blown.
And if I'm Stockdale, the approach I take is, it's kind of David and Goliath match that's going on right now, is just play within yourselves. Don't try to do too much. Just take it one point at a time. So let's see how they respond tonight.
Yeah, hard cross there by Natalie Code for the Mustangs. And there's a big kill. Number 12, Lauren Burt. The funny thing is this Liberty squad has so much in-depth talent. Between Ferreira and Burt, the two of them are the setters on the squad, but they hit as well as any hitter does on the Liberty squad.
And Burt, just a quality individual. And Coach Parker said before the game, she's just been a joy, absolute joy to coach.
Ferreira with the ace there. Patriots off to an early 3-0 lead here in the first set. And again, for those of you who just joined us, if you haven't heard already, Stockdale down 3 starters today. Naomi Jennings, Kenzie Villavazzo, and Macy Haddad. So kind of going to be a little bit of an uphill battle for the Mustangs. And a big swing over there on the right side by number 5, Sydney Richardson. And now coming into the game for Stockdale, number 11, Brooklyn Jackson.
Serving for Stockdale, Sydney Richardson.
Stockdale will rely on a couple of freshmen this evening, especially in their freshman number 12, Kelsey Valdez. And there's a quick ace, and Mustangs pulling to within 1, 2-3 here in the first set. And a big set to Caitlin Tucker in the middle there. And that one's just a little bit long by Tori Perrier.
And, of course, with Stockdale, Richardson's a big cog of their team. Even with Macy was the heart and soul, but what kind of made everything go is the one that's assisting and setting up her teammates is Richardson. Now she's got to take a little bit of a different role as kind of an all-around utility type player.
And I didn't ask Coach Kolatz. Brooklyn Jackson with the kill there. I didn't ask Coach Kolatz whether or not she was going to be running a 5-1 this evening.
Yeah.
Haddad being the setter when she comes out of the back row. Of course, Haddad never leaves the court. When she goes to the back row, she becomes the setter for that 6-2 offense. So now serving, Manisha Lewis. Lewis is sophomore defensive specialist. And a good dig there. And a block at the net by the Mustangs. And right there, player we haven't called yet, but we'll probably be talking about a lot tonight, like we did a couple of weeks ago when we featured Stockdale, was number 3, Shivanji Goswami. And we called Goswami's name quite a few times the last time we were here. That game was against Clovis, I believe.
Yep.
And Lady Camarillo with the block out of bounds. That will count for a kill. And the Patriots up 5-4 right now.
Serving for Liberty, Sutton Coffee.
Sutton Coffee now serving. Coffee just a sophomore. And a big swing there by Natalie Code. And we're going to be talking about Natalie all night long.
Just going to say, Haddad down, they still have the athleticism of Code, who can definitely bring the hammer in. And what I've learned about volleyball and my limited knowledge of it is Code right there is the perfect hit to get above it and come down with it with a nice stroke in the hand.
Ferreira with a really nice set there off of a ball that should have gone over the net. Code out of the back row. And Lauren Burt took a little bit off of it, just bounced it right off of the block, and it drops right inside the 10-foot line. Game now tied at 5, and Lauren Burt back to serve.
Just to let you guys know that all replays and stuff we're sending right to our Twitter and Facebook. Twitter at KHSD Athletics, Facebook Kern High Network. So if you want to see some of these kills and all the stuff that have been happening tonight, make sure you go there.
Yeah, so when everyone's wondering why Tom Myers is just talking too much, it's because Kyle's busy over on the computer setting things up so that way everybody can look at the replays. And, of course, those can be tweeted out on your Twitter to, friends and family. And they get passed around the high school pretty quick, too. It's really great to see some of the success that we see with our players. And of course, their schoolmates love showing off their talent at their own school, and becomes kind of a tidal wave of pride.
Yeah, it's a great thing. And, kids get to see these memories forever, and it's just a great platform.
Well, and here's a big surprise, because we thought she was going to be out, but it turns out Kenzie Villavazzo is in the game. She does have a little bit of a torn calf muscle, is what Maria Kolatz had told me, but it was a game-time decision, I guess, and so she's into the game now to serve, and she'll play in the back row. That free ball deep into the back row. Goswami with the tip. And here's Camarillo, and she's blocked, and it goes out of bounds. That'll count for a kill.
Yeah. I will say this one time. We've covered Liberty earlier in the game, and once they get a rhythm, they are tough to stop right now. And one thing right now is Stockdale really hasn't given them that rhythm. Maybe a little flat coming off to start this game, this first match, trying to figure it out. But we've seen Liberty with high energy out here, just not really seeing it like we have in the past.
Yeah, and Villavazzo with the mishandled pass, and that'll be an ace for the Patriots. And don't be surprised, the Patriots can get on a roll on you fast.
Quick.
And I'll tell you what, they have the ability to kind of get the game bent in their direction really fast. I don't think, and again, like I said, Amy Parker wasn't looking past anything with the two players being down for Stockdale today. So we're still going to see them, putting the hammer down as much as they can. Quick set there. And on the kill, number 6, Cammie Marion, a middle hitter. And, Marion's just a sophomore. So, again, we're starting to see a lot of the development of the younger players. And tonight, obviously, with Haddad down, we're going to see some of that talent that we haven't quite seen too much of so far this season. Now back in the game, the freshman defensive specialist, number 13, Tony Perrier.
Tony Perrier serving for Stockdale.
Stockdale trailing 7-8 here in the first set. And the Mustangs called under the net, and that's going to be a point for the Patriots.
I was talking to some of the administrators before the game, Scott Odlin, who's the principal, and Justin Roberts beforehand. They were telling me that the freshman class coming up all around for Stockdale is loaded with athletic talent. 2 freshmen on the varsity volleyball team, 4 freshmen on the varsity tennis team. So the future looks bright for Stockdale, even with this loss of Haddad.
Yeah, big swing out of the backfield there by the Mustangs. And the kill by Elise Ferreira. And I'll tell you what, she doesn't just set, she swings hard. And, in fact, there's nothing more impressive than seeing one of your starting setters as your left side power hitter. There's a lot to be said for that. And that one's going to be stuffed at the net on the block. Number 8, Brenna Slayton. Slayton, just a freshman. Amy Parker did tell me that she was going to try this evening to see how things went, but she was going to try and get as many of her underclassmen in this game as she possibly could to give them a little bit of that extra, time on the court, to get them a little bit of experience.
And in the SWYL, we see with both these programs, Coach Parker been around for a while. Coach Kolatz has been here since the school's open. They don't just get a new crop; they just kind of replenish and refuel if they get on there. So
yeah, with the kill there, number 7, Jalisa Caraccio. And don't be fooled about the SWIL.
Yeah,
all 6 teams are in the top 15 in the Valley, in the Central section. So, this is a power league. All these teams are good. 1-4. Mustang or 2-4 Mustang doesn't necessarily mean that they're a 2-4 caliber team. They're still going to compete in the section. And a big block there by number 3, Caitlin Tucker.
What a great rally going on. Both digs on both sides of the ball. A lot of good things happening.
Yeah, I saw Caitlin Tucker earlier, and she was getting taped up on her shoulder. She's had some shoulder injuries this season. Thought maybe it was a torn labrum earlier in the season and found out that it wasn't. So still getting some treatment for it, but obviously it's not stopping her from being on the court and producing. And that may have been tipped off the fingers and head out of bounds, and that's going to be, and that's going to be a point for the Mustangs. Mustangs trailing 13-8 here in the first set. Now back to serve number 2, Jade Johnson.
Coach Parker talked about maybe a little unforced error in the back end. You gotta watch that spacing. And she's like, that's the number one thing we have to cut down on, especially when they play a team like Garces coming up on Thursday. Cut down on those mistakes.
Great set by Lauren Burt there. Big swing out of the back row for the Mustangs. And a little miss hit there by Kelsey Valdez for the Mustangs. Point goes to the Patriots. Oh, but wait. They're calling the Titans. They're calling the Patriots.
We're not in Frontierland. I'm going to tell you this right now. Jay Johnson, number 2, has done a great job digging right now. She's had a really sound game, and she's taken a brunt of these hammers that the Patriots are bringing right now.
And that one hits the standard over on the other side, and it'll be called out of bounds for the Patriots. Point to Stockdale.
So this is a good opportunity for Stockdale to get back in the game. Liberty went on a little bit of a run right now, and let's see if they can rebound right now and not let this game get out of hand at all.
Big kill over there on the left side by number 8, Brenna Slayton. That one just got in about a foot inside the back line there. And now serving number 5, Elise Ferreira. And you're absolutely right. They're not getting up on the block so much for Stockdale. And that ball is coming fast and hard. And the girls in the back in the secondary there seem to be handling it and getting the pass back to their center pretty well. And, of course, right after I say that, Ferreira with the ace.
But I'm going to tell you this about Ferreira in the game we saw earlier in the season. Her serve, momentum, this could be the dagger the Patriots have right here as they get going.
Ferreira number 1 in the league in serving aces with 43, now 44 this season. You know, you want to talk about a game where there's a lot of talent. Not only is she in the top 5, Kenzie Villavazzo and Naomi Jennings round out the top 5 at 4 and 5 respectively in the league. So we've got a lot of talent in this particular game right here. And Ferreira puts that one in the net. That won't get a lot of fanfare from her coach on that one. Again, the unforced errors are what we're talking about.
Serving for Stockdale, Sydney.
You know, talking about the impact that Ferreira has per game, per set, if we're looking at all this stuff. I mean, you talk about her being someone that sets people up, but she's got 5.8 assists per set that's going on there, which is pretty stinking amazing to go on there, which she's able to accomplish.
Now serving for the Patriots, number 8, Brenna Slayton. Slayton, once again, only a freshman, and that one would have gone long. Free ball back over the net by the Mustangs. Lauren Burt with the swing, and that's going to be a kill.
I will say this, Liberty has the Mustangs on the run. You know what I mean? They got them running all over the place and not getting them comfortable where they could set up and really bring that kill in. Just the little things I kind of see. It's like in basketball or it's like in football. You got a team on the run that they're not settled and they can't get in there because it's go, 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 go.
Yeah, Maria Colitz is going to call a timeout, try and stop the bleeding at this 18-11 score here in the first set. And we're going to see if she can regroup her team. You know, this is one of those runs we're talking about where the Patriots, they'll kind of get on a roll. And right now, this one's kind of gotten away from them. It seemed like we were just at 10-13 not but a couple of minutes ago. And Slayton having some success from the service line. You know, also, you know, as we were talking earlier about the kills in tonight's game, Macy Haddad, who is not in the game tonight, who is a setter for the Mustangs.
What has she got, 3,000?
Is the leading hitter.
3 million? Jeez.
She is the leading hitter in the league with 309 this season.
See,
and then Lainey Camarillo is number 5. And you know, again, I'm talking about just the teams that are playing tonight.
Yeah.
Lainey Camarillo is number 5 in the league. So out of all the players, we have 2 of them in this game that are in the top 5 in the league in hitting. So, again, you know, a lot of talent on the court tonight. So we're going to see if Stockdale can stop the bleeding and turn this one around. Again, 18-11 here in the first set. Liberty Patriots leading the Mustangs. Good serve by Haddad, and that'll be an ace.
Frustrating. That's actually Slayton right there with the ace for the Liberty Patriots, but frustrating for a coach. You call a timeout and you come back out here and give up a point right off the bat. So
Slayton once again to serve. Mustangs having trouble handling the pass, and that one just kind of hit slowly over the net. Good dig back there by number 13, Tony Perrier. A block by Lainey Camarillo, and a dink. Ferreira with the dig. And once again, Lauren Burt just tipping it. Not even a quarter of a swing. and getting just the tip right off the top of the blockers there, and then it drops down behind and nobody can handle it.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, Lauren Burt is a very solid player that goes on there, and she just does those little things right. And, Coach Parker is working.
And good vision there by Natalie Code. She saw the spot over there on the right side and just tipped it that direction. So
what I was saying about Burt, Coach Parker's working with some smaller schools to give her that look and that opportunity because she has a skill set that I think a lot of teams would really like, quality individual that just does all those little things right.
Yeah, in the game for the first time tonight, Kiana Keelan for the Liberty Patriots, and now into serve number 1, Monisha Lewis for the Mustangs. Lewis with the serve. Keelan having a little trouble handling it there. Code with the pass. Camarillo to swing and tips it all the way, but she saw something in the back and there was nobody there, and she's going to get the point. Good vision by Lainey Camarillo there.
Being smart, knowing where their players aren't. One thing I'll say, this girl is playing really hard tonight is Richardson for Stockdale. She just is a solid player and is playing tough tonight, so it's good to see that out there.
Well, Richardson kind of has to take over.
Yep.
So she's got the load to bear this evening. That one out of bounds by Lauren Burt. Waiting for it to come over her head, but still a great swing for a ball that was kind of not in a position for her to be able to swing at it. Back in the game for the Patriots, libero number 6, Liana Caraccio. We haven't seen much of Caraccio yet this evening, so this is a kind of a first.
And so smooth off the set. I mean, Elise Ferrer is just showing. The ball spinning out of control, where that's the number one thing we've seen in our broadcast this year. If you don't have the setter, and she sets it up in the perfect spot every time and allow her teammates to be successful.
Yeah, you know what, Liberty, that's the advantage that they really have over a lot of teams. They have 2 setters that can put the ball pretty much anywhere and do it on the run. And Lainey Camarillo with a powerful swing through the block for the kill.
But set up with a good set by Burt right there that really put it up perfectly.
Yeah, Burt now in the back row in the 6-2 offense, and she'll be the setter for the next 3 rotations here. Doing a fantastic job of putting the ball on the dot, and great timing by Lainey to just get that ball right at the perfect apex. Big swing over on the right side by Brooklyn Jackson. Jackson just a sophomore, and I see big things in her future in the next couple of years. She's a fantastic hitter.
Absolutely. Well, you hit it right on the head. You have 2 girls that are possibly the 2 best setters in town, back and forth on either side, in Burt and Ferreira.
They may be the best setters in the Valley.
Yeah, and they're on the same team and on the court at the same time, and just makes it easy for Ferreira to could be in a top hitter that as well that goes on there, but they're able to really complement each other nicely.
Well, and everyone keep an eye out tonight, especially when the ball isn't put in an easy spot for the setter to get to it. In a lot of cases, the setter will, instead of getting underneath it and setting it with their hands, they'll instead take the easy route and try to bump set it.
Yeah.
And when you bump set it, you don't have as much control over the ball. Sometimes you put some spin on it that the hitters don't really like. They will literally go to the floor to get underneath it enough to get the ball up in the air. And then sometimes they're having to run to the set. The ideal set is when you can set your feet in motion in place and put the ball up on an arc. They don't do that a lot sometimes because the ball just can't get to the setter in the spot where they want it because it's coming to the passer at 70 miles an hour.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Lauren Burt back to serve. I'm not sure what the officials were going over. It is set point right now in the first set, 24-13. Patriots leading, and that's going to do it for the first set. Lainey Camarillo with the kill, and they take the first set 25-13, and a decisive win in the first set here. Kind of, I hate to say it, but somewhat of what maybe we were expecting in tonight's first set.
Yeah.
I see, though, in the second set, I see Stockdale putting up a little bit more of a fight. I think in a lot of these games, we see first set jitters. Several weeks ago when you and I and Vance Palm did the Clovis Stockdale game, Clovis came out in the first set and pretty much obliterated Stockdale, and then Stockdale turned it around, ended up winning that game that night.
Turning around, and they got a lot of talent. Yeah. They still have that, but when you don't have your heart and soul on there, and she's actually right out there leading the way, talking and trying to get the Mustangs back at it again. She's on the boot, but she's trying to encourage her girls.
Yeah, I had heard earlier a couple days ago that there was an issue with the with Macy having an issue with her ankle.
Yeah.
And I confirmed it with you this morning. And then when I got here, and they told me Naomi Jennings, she walked past me and she had a boot on.
Yeah.
And, right there you're looking at two of your top players. Naomi, a force in the middle. You notice that we haven't seen a lot of blocking out of Stockdale tonight. Naomi Jennings missing is really kind of the reason for that.
Well, both of them, they are aggressive at the net. They do those things. Naomi Jennings, I bring the basketball piece in there because she's such a force in rebounds and blocks and brings that same tenacity that she has at the rim in basketball. She brings it to the net. I want to give a shout-out to our guys behind the scenes that look at stuff. Kevin Willie, you do a great job on the camera piece right there. He always is doing a great job. We also have another newbie out here. And Kevin, I'm wondering, you see the guy with the camera around his neck over there with the flannel all the way over there? Got to zoom in on him.
I don't think that's flannel, though.
Or the plaid shirt that we have with there. That's Javier Valdez. He is new to the Office of School Support Services, and he does a great job with photo, and he does just so much creative things on there, and we just want to give him a shout-out for all the things that he does. I'm going to show him this tomorrow. I'm going to embarrass him a little bit, but we are really excited to have him be a part of that. He does a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff that people may never see, but they'll see his photographs that are out there, and we're just so thankful to have him on there. We also want to thank, like we've mentioned, Kern Schools Federal Credit Union, the U.S. Army. They've done a great job. We do want to give a shout-out to Dr. Schaefer, who is the superintendent that has backed us from day one. Dr. Brenda Lewis and Dr. Dean McGee have also really been behind us and allow us to expand on this program of live stream and really promoting our student athletes. And Stan Green had a vision long ago, and he's our director of school support services, that we've just seen the growth of promotion, and it started with him and visions that he had of how we can grow and kind of be responsible for what we put out about our students and what the community can see about that. So we're excited about all the people that make this thing work, and it's just been a fun ride. I'm happy to be a part of it, happy to have you on board. Got to know you over this last year, and one thing what drives it all is our love and support for kids to make memories for them as they go on in life. They can always look back and see these things. So.
Yeah, absolutely. We'd also like to thank our sponsors, Kern Schools Federal Credit Union, the U.S. Army, Pav Solar and Communication, Premier Lighting, Tony's Pizza, and Raymond's Trophies for their support of Kern High School and our student athletes. All right, so Stockdale off to a 1-0 start, made pretty quick work in that first set. That thing didn't go for very long.
Yeah.
25-13, the first set win for the Liberty Patriots.
And we're looking at this SWIL matchup. Frontier Titans capped off an undefeated girls golf. They're league champions right there, and they did a great job. That is Coach Reller of Frontier. Did a
Jeff
great job.
Reller's a good guy. I like Jeff. Likes to wear flip-flops on the golf course. Big block there at the net, and they're going to get called for a 4 hit, so that's not a block. If they call 4 hits, that means it just hit the tape and went back to your side. So
looks like Ferrer is going to be serving over there for the Patriots.
First point out the gate, and the Patriots lead 1-0 here in the second set. Nice serve by Ferreira. Kind of a knuckleball there with a little bit of speed on it. Big swing by Brooklyn Jackson there. And then Lauren Burt's going to get that one right through the block for the kill.
And here's the last thing Stockdale wanted to have is get the Patriots rolling in the second, already down 2-0, and perhaps one of the best servers in town. Not only one of the best setters, but also one of the best servers as well.
Yep. Caitlin Tucker with a big swing there. Now, how about that? You have your setter pass to your other setter who sets your setter, who kills the ball.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Lauren Burt and Elise Ferreira on that exchange right there shows you exactly why this Liberty Patriot team is just ridiculously talented. Nice block at the net there by number 8, Ensley Chester. Excuse me, not Ensley Chester. Number 8, Brenna Slayton. I have my roster backwards there.
Yeah. Well, it just looks like the chemistry that Burt and Ferreira have together. They're able to complement each other so well as they get just this whole thing going.
Ferreira with a quick set to Tucker. And a big block over there on the right side by Caitlin Tucker and Lauren Burt.
Looks like it's going to go out of bounds, and it's going to be Stockdale ball. I'm going to tell you, she may fly under the radar, but she has played her tail off as Jay Johnson for Stockdale in her digs and saving balls that are going long. She always seems to be right around the ball.
Good dig by Jade. And that was going to go over and out of bounds. Good eye on it there by the Liberty Patriots offense, number 7, Jaleesa Caraccio. And, of course, Caraccio and her sister both on this team, both DSs at that. And now back in the game for the Patriots, number 15, Lainey Camarillo. Now serving number 8, Brenna Slayton. Great set by Richardson and put away by number 11, Brooklyn Jackson. Brooklyn Jackson, again, once that sophomore that we spoke about earlier.
She's got some talent. She's not afraid to sling it right there. And caught one of the top talents in town in no man's land as Ferreira was kind of left undecided whether she'd hit her or let it go out of bounds.
Code with the serve. And Camarillo blasts that one right through the arms of Code there in the backcourt. Now in the game for the Patriots, Sutton Coffey. Also back in the game for Stockdale, number 3, Shivanji Goswami. And a big block over there on the right side, but blocked out of bounds, and Camarillo will get credit for the kill. Stockdale does have some young talent that they're working on. Granted, they have a lot of seniors. 7 seniors on their squad that are going to graduate this year.
Yeah.
And just a little bit of a tip once again. Lauren Burt using that mild swing over there on the right side, and it's not being covered at all by the defense of the Stockdale Mustangs.
And this is the rhythm, the run that they have that go on there. Stockdale's got to get back into this game before it gets out of hand.
8-2 Liberty here in the second set. They lead 1-0. Goswami with the big swing. Good dig back there by Ferreira, and that one's going to be out of bounds.
I think that was Keelan that was on the ground right there that was trying to make a play.
Oh, was that Keelan?
Yeah, she was trying to make a play out of the ground right there. Good effort, good idea, but
back in the game. Yeah. Back in the game for the Patriots, number 6, Liana Caraccio, the libero, and now serving number 10, Kenzie Villavazzo for the Mustangs. Good serve by Villavazzo. Lots of speed on it. Lainey Camarillo really having her way this evening. And that one hit the standard, and it's going to be out of bounds. Point to the Patriots.
I can't say this enough about Ferreira. She just puts the ball in the perfect spot to really make Camarillo effective and Burt effective. It's just an unselfish play of it's almost like art. It's a master of that craft right there. And, you know, not to take anything away from any other setter I've seen in town, but when you're looking at the best, it's something special to look at right there.
Well, I've seen Lainey Camarillo play 4 times so far this season, which is saying a lot because I'm a Frontier announcer, but I've still seen her.
Yep.
You know, we did a couple of games, or we did another game over there early when they played Clovis North. And honestly, this is the best that she's hit all season that I've seen. Now, maybe she was having off games in those other ones, I'm not sure, but the power hasn't been there. It's just been a swing. Yeah. Now she's showing some real power and getting some real velocity on that kill, which is really, giving Stockdale defense a little bit of trouble.
Yeah.
Looked like we had a little of a correction there, I think, on the score now. So it's 9-3 here in the second set. Liberty Patriots up 1-0 on the Stockdale Mustangs. Nice serve by Lauren Burt. Good knuckleball. Ferreira with a powerful swing, and that's pretty much going to do it for the play. Yep, point to Liberty.
Double hit.
For a second, she thought it might have been blocked, but Camarillo didn't really touch it, so you can only touch it once unless it's tipped at the net. Burt again to serve. Goswami with the kill. Right through the block of number 15, Lady Camarillo, and her sister, number 11, Paige Camarillo. Imagine that. You got two of them in the front row, and honestly, they could be twins. Paige just a freshman. And Laney, I had conversations with her last year when she was playing for Frontier, really was excited about getting to play a year with her little sister. So this is a big thing for her this year and a great moment to get to share with her little sister in her final season in high school. Point to Stockdale, 5-10 the score now. Stockdale trails. Back to serve number 13, Tony Perrier.
Just a freshman, by the way. Perrier, she played a good game. And Burt.
And right there, the intelligence of Lauren Burt in finding a spot where it was just vacant and putting it there on the set.
I will say this, it's the confident intelligence. That's a tough ball right there. The no look. What do we call it, a dink or a dunk or whatever you want to call it?
A dink, yeah.
But the no look in there, that confidence that she exuded right there is pretty amazing.
Yeah, Jaleesa Caraccio now in the game to serve. And a tip there. And that one's out of bounds. Cammie Marion played that one pretty smart. And that point goes to Stockdale. Natalie Cote back in the game for Stockdale, and now back to serve number 2, Jade Johnson.
Serving for Stockdale, Jade Johnson.
I saw Liberty play last week against Frontier. Yeah. Frontier took them to 5 sets, and that was kind of a big deal for Frontier because previously they lost in 3 straight at Liberty. I'd like to say that the TNT zone over at Frontier had something to do with that, but boy, did those girls at Frontier really play their hearts out. One of the best performances I've seen out of Frontier. Yeah, they went down in 5 sets, but boy, those girls really pulled together and played their hearts out. And a fantastic game for Liberty and Frontier both.
And for Liberty, and you know it as well as I know, is that's the wake-up call they need going into playoffs. They're going on there. So
Natalie Cote with a big swing there. Kind of has her way right there with Elise Ferreira. Ferreira can't get it, her hands close enough together to stop it from going through, and that's a point for Stockdale. Now it's 7-12, and Sydney Richardson back to serve. Good pass by Caraccio, and the dink at the net there. And Caitlin Tucker with the block and wins the battle. Tucker once again with a little bit of a shoulder problem here, but we're not seeing any evidence of it so far. She's really held up pretty well so far in this first 2 sets. Ferreira back to serve. Nice dink by Cote for the point. Kind of giving Liberty a little bit of their own treatment after they've kind of had that happen to them a couple of times. And now we got substitutions coming into the game for Stockdale. Monisha Lewis, number 1, and Shivanshi Goswami, number 3. The Mustangs in pink celebrating Cancer Awareness Month here for the month of October.
I'll say this about Cote. Kind of what Burt is to the Liberty Patriots, Cote is kind of like that to the Mustangs. Kind of does it all.
Absolutely. And a great blocker at the net as well. Nice block at the net there by Goswami. And they're going to call Tucker under the net, point to Stockdale. And now it's 9 serving 13. Lewis with the serve. Sends kind of a blooper just over the net at the 10-foot line. And Tucker with the dink, picked up really good by Sydney Richardson. And that cross-court swing, nowhere near the net on that one by number 11, Brooklyn Jackson. Of course, Brooklyn just a sophomore, so, still has a little bit of jitters. This is one of the first games we've actually seen her play in this season.
And she's played a decent game. She's had a few kills here or there,
but
so she's done a good job.
And she played club ball last year on my daughter's squad.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, much improved even since club season, but always had a real gift for hitting the ball. Now she's getting up in the air better than she did last year, so that I think some box jumping has probably done her some pretty good.
That's good. And
we've got a timeout here.
That was Slayton with the ace right there. And, man, they're just loaded everywhere it looks. Patriots have someone stepping up, doing some good things.
Patriots up 15-9 here in the second set. They lead 1-0. We're coming to you this evening from Stockdale High School, home of the Stockdale Mustangs, and we've got a couple of games coming up this week around the league for football. Kyle,
Yep.
Where are those games taking place?
So we got a big game at Griffith Field, second game. Take a look at the stadium. It'll be good. And coming off a devastating loss to Centennial, and just a very unfortunate fumble towards the end of the game, and Nick Sills for Garces was able to scoop and score, but it was...
That's kind of been their thing this year. They
yeah,
lost another game earlier in the season as well, kind of not the same thing,
Yeah.
but a last-minute loss as well. So
Yeah,
that's two losses they've had this season
West,
that may not have been two losses.
And, they're right there hanging in there. The Will Alexander's a real deal quarterback. So it's going to be Centennial at BHS, and BHS bound back beating your Frontier Titans. And we also have... And this is probably the SEYL championship game, even though the season hasn't been completing. But we have Highland at South, and Highland looking really well. But they haven't beat South in a while, so we'll see how
Highland
that game
still
turns out.
undefeated?
Yep, Highland's still undefeated. So
good for Highland. And a powerful swing there by Lauren Bird over on the right side. Quick set to Caitlin Tucker, and she puts that ball down.
I'll tell you this, Richardson having a nice game for the Mustangs, able to withstand that hammer from Bird. So
great job on the dig, because that ball was really coming hard. And I'll tell you what, Lauren Burt can swing with as much power as about anybody in the central section. And again, she's a setter. I can't emphasize that enough. We just don't see that very often. And maybe we should see that more often. But, setters tend to set and not do much else. And I speak from experience. My own daughter, Macy's an okay hitter, but she's a setter.
Yeah.
And she doesn't hit like some of the other girls hit.
But what about the options Coach Parker has is you can run some sets and some plays where Ferrer's your setter, and you can run some sets and plays where Bert's your setter, and other could be the hitter. So it's just the options for the Liberty Patriots. No wonder they're Valley champions last year.
That's right. Lainey Camarillo with a hit off the block. And then, of course, she's right there. I don't know who got it, Lainey Camarillo or Caitlin Tucker. They were both swinging.
Both right there.
And, we really hadn't seen much of Caitlin Tucker like we saw earlier in the season against Clovis North in the times I've seen her play. But that last play before where she swung and killed the ball about 5 feet past the 10-foot line, that's the Caitlin Tucker I've been used to seeing. And, boy, what a powerful middle hitter she can be. Code off the foot. Single leap there. Lainey Camarillo with a big swing, and she puts it away. And no one really there to block for Stockdale on that one.
But it's those little things like we've talked about, those sets and getting them to the right spot and all that stuff, because you got Ferrer and you got Burt setting them up nicely, but Stockdale just isn't really finding that rhythm to set up people like Code.
Nice pass by the DS, and the tip for the kill. Again, number 3, Caitlin Tucker. And Tucker really starting to show us something here in the second set. Patriots leading 20-9 over the Stockdale Mustangs here in the second set. And they're up 1-0 so far in tonight's match. Richardson, good set. Powerful swing by Burt over there on the right side.
There's Jay Johnson again right now, the libero, playing a nice game for the Mustangs.
Stockdale does a good job of covering the dink there. Gus Wami with the swing. Johnson again just gobbling up everything in the backcourt. And just kind of mishit by Lainey Camarillo, and the ball drops in the middle of the court at the 10-foot line. Nobody's there, and Liberty now up 21-9.
You got Leanna Carrasio, who's had a great game at libero. You got Jade Johnson had a great game. The libero play tonight has been impressive as they're kind of anchoring their teams and doing a good job.
And now for the first time in the game tonight, freshman for the Liberty Patriots, Reese Wren's now in the game. And Renz is going to play the left side, or the left side over here.
And on cue, Dad just walks in the building right here.
Renz with the swing. And the first kill for her this evening. And I just gave the thumbs up to her dad across the court there. And timeout called by the Mustangs. Right now, Mustangs trailing 22-9 here in the second set. They trail 1-0 on the Liberty Patriots.
I want to bring up right now, you're live on the Kern High Network. This game will be archived, kernhighnetwork.com. It's our primary platform where we live stream all of our games, and we work diligently to make sure that people can rewatch these games and look at it. Get highlights and replays on Twitter and Facebook, our social media, Twitter at KHSD Athletics, and then on Facebook, Kern High Network, and then as well, you can go to YouTube, Kern High Network, and there's a number of video that are on there. We got to get it a little more organized. There's so much video on there, and that's our goal, is to clean all of that up and get it in a platform. But if you go to the kernhighnetwork.com, go to the Legacies page, you can see a number of things that we have on there of vintage games. And we talk about Maria Kolatz, and she may be down right now, but we look at the banners right here as like how many Volleyball Valley champions can one have at a school. Her legacy has been phenomenal. We have 97 Stockdale Valley Championship win over Redwood, so make sure you check that out, kernhighnetwork.com.
And that one sails just out of bounds, and point goes to Stockdale. Other games happening tonight around the league: Centennial at Garces and Frontier at BHS. And of course, Kyle updates those scores throughout the year, so you can check out Kern High Network at www.kernhighnetwork.com, and he'll have all the information loaded up on the transpirings of those games tomorrow.
The standings will be up there. We get the max prep standings because those are playoff predictions as we get going, as we are coming down to the end of league and volleyball season.
And right there, Brenna Slayton with the ace. And it's set point once again for the Liberty Patriots here in the second set. Slayton to serve. And that's a big swing right there by Cammie Marion. We haven't said her name enough this evening. They really got to get her involved because, boy, does she really put a lot of mustard on that hot dog. Now in the game for the Mustangs, number 12, Kelsey Valdez. And into serve, number 10, Kenzie Velavazzo.
Serving for Stockdale.
Once again, the Mustangs trailing 24-11. And that one just off the net. And point Stockdale.
And if you're Liberty right now, and this is the one thing, is keep your focus, keep it clean, keep it going. Don't extend games any longer than they have to be to go on there. But if you're Stockdale, you're going to try and fight your way back, claw back into it. Just keep the momentum going into the third set in case they don't get this one.
And great save there by Jade Johnson. And that's out of bounds. You know what? Johnson is the reason that they got that point. That ball was going down to the ground after going into the net twice.
We've been a broken record.
What a great job there.
We've been a broken record with her all night. She has played resilient volleyball. She hasn't quit. She just keeps going on and on and on.
Velavazzo really making it difficult on them to serve. That one just out of bounds. Point goes to Stockdale, and Stockdale just hanging on right now.
And this is, like I said, if they could be playing for the third set rather than the second set, or they could be playing to win this right here. But any momentum that they could find right now, as they've had 4 or 5 straight points right now.
We've seen, and there's a big ace by Villavazzo just to the back left corner of the backcourt of Liberty. And Amy Parker out there to have a little conversation just to tell everybody, hey, listen, guys, we got 1 point. Let's put it away and move on to the next set.
Clean it up.
And she doesn't want a run happening by Stockdale, giving them any chance for hope of getting back in even at the next set. Villavazzo with a big save there. Renz with the swing, and it's mishandled a little bit back there, and it's going to be passed free ball over to the Patriots. And they're going to set that up. Paige. Is that Paige Camarillo or Laney? No, that's Paige Camarillo with the kill. And the Patriots will take the second set 25-15. You know, this is probably the most quiet I have ever heard the black hole here at Stockdale High School. And it's kind of surprising. The wind had been completely taken out of their sails. Granted, we haven't seen much of a showing by the black hole this evening, Kyle, as much as I'm used to. Normally we see them come out in force. So,
well, I will say this. I have talked with some of the administration and, Justin Roberts and Scott Odlin, who's the principal at Stockdale, and even Coach Colatz and assistant coach Bailey Devitt. They all say that Macy Haddad is the biggest fan, the biggest teammate, just a quality individual. Students love her to death. She's just a beacon of hope, and she won our Tony's Pizza Player of the Match the last time that we were here, and she was just so grateful, so pleasant, to be around. And so when your heart and soul of your team, not only as a player but as kind of the character person and all that stuff, kind of gets taken away from you, and all of a sudden like that, I think there's an impact on that student body right there too as well. So it's tough to really get them rallied, really get them going. My favorite thing about the black hole, what they do is they call it the roller coaster. They get on there and they're moving around doing all this stuff. They have a really good time on there, and it's just kind of known for what's going on. But like you said, they're just kind of down and out right now. And
didn't we see them do the parting of the Red Sea once over there?
I don't know if it was the Red Sea, but it was. They had a leader get out here, and he's leading them and conducting them, doing all that stuff. But it's definitely not the same atmosphere that we had the last time we were here to go on.
Yeah, fun group of kids to watch, and
Absolutely.
It's kind of exciting that we've got all the people that we have supporting this program. We get to see those kids and get to hear them. So again, we'd like to thank the administration of both Stockdale High Schools and Liberty High School. For Stockdale High School, Principal Scott Odlin, Assistant Principal of Instruction Tashawn Winston, Assistant Principal of Administration Teddy Armijo, Athletic Director Justin Roberts, and Activity Director Leah McLean. And for the Patriots, Principal Libby Wyatt, Assistant Principal of Instruction Mr. Josh Williams, a good buddy of mine.
Yeah.
Assistant Principal of Administration Ron Priest, Athletic Director Tim Davis, and, of course, Activities Director Brooke Slayton, whose niece, coincidentally, plays on the Liberty High School volleyball team, Brenna. So coming up at the conclusion of the game tonight, we'll be presenting the Tony's Pizza Player of the Game. And tonight we have 33, 33, and 34, since there's 3 of us here. And I think we're going to give Kevin Willie, I think we're going to give him the 34% this evening.
That's fine. Wow.
Yeah, I think he gets it.
Kevin Willie is moving up in the world, ladies and gentlemen. Jeez.
So all the video that you guys see is Kevin Willie, and he does a great job of
phenomenal
capturing the drama that's happening on the court for us. And boy, what a treat that is. And he does a great job. And we have great equipment. I mean, talk about, for a high school level, they've really done a great job of providing us with the equipment that's necessary to film these games. And I even saw one that was done by somebody else. Actually, it was on KGET. They did the BC game, and their camera footage wasn't nearly as good as our footage was. So I was kind of surprised that, a television program like KGT doesn't have the camera equipment that we do, because our camera equipment really does high definition and really looks good.
I don't know what to say off that. We still love you, KGET, for your continued coverage of the Kern Golden Empire. Do a great job.
Well, I'm not on the payroll, so I don't have to say anything. Caitlin Tucker with a big swing. A real quick side, just a nice set across the net. Ferreira once again doing a fantastic job over there.
Serving for Liberty, number 8, Brenna Slayton.
Brenna Slayton now back to serve for the Patriots. And Natalie Cote just a little bit out of sync with her setter, not able to handle that ball to get it over. And the Patriots now up 2-1 here in the third set and leading 2-0.
One thing you really like about Coach Parker is she is nonstop coaching the whole time going on there, and you like to see that. I think Coach Parker's got her mind ready for the playoffs and making sure they're focused. They got a big game Thursday against Garces, so.
Yeah, that's going to be – and that one's out of bounds. Lainey Camarillo hitting the standard over there on the left side. And that point goes to Stockdale. Yeah, I had a conversation with her about Garces earlier. She's got a game plan on how she's going to handle, Garces has some real big talent over there.
Absolutely.
Probably the best matchup between two teams in our league, maybe even in the Valley. I mean, two squads that are both equally talented. And, the conversation that we had was that she wasn't looking past this one.
Yeah.
That's Amy for you. In fact, they were watching film, and the film they were watching wasn't going to do them any good because, Macy Haddad wasn't going to be in, so they pretty much scrapped the film and she said she was going to have to maybe make some adjustments here. Obviously, whatever adjustments she's made are working because that second set went fairly smoothly, almost as good as the first one. So.
And I'll tell you, the Stockdale's hanging around, and that's a credit to Maria Colatz, is trying to get the most out of her team and all that's going on there. We see Jackson coming out right now, but she's got an aggressive approach to the game, and she's hammering it home. I'm telling you, one of my dark horses, you like that with the Mustangs going on there, kind of just going in there that's played a game under control is Jade Johnson. Had a really nice game tonight.
Good set by Ferreira. And there's a big swing out of Cammie Marion. And Cammie comes hobbled. She's hobbled a little bit. I think she might have done a little something to her ankle there because she's not really standing on it all that hard. Might have gotten it jammed up. Good serve off the net. And Ensley Chester with the ace there, number 8. Chester, a senior setter. Chester with a back set there to Goswami, and it does just get over the net. And Camarillo dinks that one to the back row. Johnson not able to handle it, and the point goes to the Patriots. Now serving number 12, Lauren Burt.
And Lauren Burt consistently having a good game out there, and Coach Parker wants to make sure that this gets going. They finish off in 3-0.
Johnson put that one over the net, and Camarillo pounded it, but Johnson was able to handle that. Camarillo just incredibly aggressive on that play. With the kill. Showing authority with her swing right now. I think Laney's really coming into her own in this game tonight, really showing us a little something that we haven't quite seen this year. I talked to Amy Parker about her earlier in the season, and she said it was more about not Laney just swinging, but hitting through the ball. And, under the direction of Amy Parker, she's really grown this year and playing quite well. Now in the game for Stockdale, number 12, Kelsey Valdez, a freshman outside hitter. And now back to serve number 13, Tony Perrier. And that's just a fantastic back set by Lauren Burt right there for Camarillo to put it away on the right side.
Yeah, and it's and the confidence that Camarillo has right now, where she, like you said, going through the ball, getting above it. But I'm telling you, it all starts with that set from Burt, from Ferreira. Very spoiled to have that on there.
Jaleesa Caraccio serving, also Brenna Slayton in the game for the Patriots. And Slayton with the ace. And Slayton's had a few aces this evening.
Yeah.
She's done a pretty good job serving, and she's
Really
been
nice game.
kind of, her and Brenna Slayton, Jaleesa Caraccio had the serve there. I was talking about Brenna Slayton.
Yeah.
Slayton's actually had some really good runs this evening where the Patriots have kind of gotten on a scoring run of about 6, 7, 8 points. And that one looked like it was pancaked by Jade Johnson.
Yeah.
But the official over there, he's saying that
Looks like there's going to be a discussion.
And that's Junior Manrique, the official on the far side over there. Junior, a fantastic official, but obviously he didn't see something, so they're going to have a conversation. My guess is that this is going to be a replay.
I'm going to tell you this.
And he's calling it a replay. And Junior's a good man because when he misses something, he's not an egomaniac, so he doesn't miss. He won't stick to his guns.
But when the queen of volleyball gets up and has to say something, hey, you know that when Coach Kolatz gets up there, that she's pretty honest and she's an honest man too. But it's got to be frustrating for Coach Parker that you get a point taken away like that as well. You know what I mean? So frustrating.
Amy won a little bit of an explanation on that one, and my guess is that they're just going to say that Junior was wrong, and we're going to move on. So they're replaying the point. Liberty up 7-6 here. And again, a big swing by number 6, Cammie Marion, and Marion just taking over, but now she's coming off the court really limping hard. And I don't know if that's, she's got a tape kind of around her calf.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if that's a calf problem or if that is an ankle problem. But that's a shame she has to come out of the game because she's been pretty successful so far.
Had a few kills this period match. I'll get it right one of these days, Maya.
Set. You're good.
Set. We got it right there.
I'll have to convert when we get to basketball season, which is going to be tough.
Yeah.
And a big block there by Natalie Code.
Which I'm going to tell you, that's not an easy thing to do when Ferrer is bringing the hammer like that.
That's right. And Stockdale now up 8-7 here in the third set, so not laying down by any stretch of the imagination. And that one mishit by Brenna Slayton, and the point goes to Stockdale, and they're up now 9-7. And, of course, Amy Parker wants a timeout to talk it over, kind of figure out what's going on and regroup with her team. So Stockdale, a couple more games they have coming up here. They've got, let's see.
You're looking at Liberty right
I'm looking at Liberty's. Now, okay, so Liberty's got Garces coming up on Thursday. Then next week, the final week of league play, they have Centennial on Tuesday, and Bakersfield is their final game of the season at BHS.
And for Stockdale, what we have right here, I'll do that for you. They're going to be at Frontier on Thursday, and then they're going to be hosting both Bakersfield and Garces next week as they go on there. And this is the one thing I really think Coach Kolatz really wants to get to the playoffs because there's a little bit of optimism with Macy Haddad. Talking to her earlier today is, her ankle is improving. It still looks a little bit better, but about the ankle, and this is the one thing I think people tend to forget about, is the overall flexibility in that ankle really drives the movement, especially in a game like volleyball and all that as well. So,
well, the other thing is that, Macy's a power hitter.
Yeah.
And, she's got upper body strength, so if anybody could do it on a bum ankle, I think Macy Haddad's the one that could. And right now, I'll tell you what, Stockdale, and this even goes for Liberty, this is all about seeding right now.
Yeah.
They're trying. All these teams, unfortunately, our power league down here beats each other up, and hopefully, the league office in Porterville looks at that when it comes to seeding.
Yeah.
Again, I saw the Max Preps had Liberty ranked at number 4 at this point in the season, and they had Stockdale ranked at number 5. And so, of course, there's lies, darn lies, and statistics. And Trevor Horn, I believe, had Stockdale down to number 10, but has Liberty up to number 3 or 4. So everyone's got an opinion, and I guess we'll find out when the seeding start, where it's going to be. So, and Maria saw something on that she didn't like. The dink right there by Caraccio, and the point goes to Liberty, and now they're trailing 10-9 here in the second set.
You know, the seeding thing, as we looked at, no matter what it is it's a combination of seeing strength of schedule. CIF uses the max preps rankings that go on there, the playoff predictions that go on there, to really help drive some of the things that are on there. And it's from the get-go. You look at their governance and the rules and how they have it, and that's where they kind of look at, which it's tough to determine sometimes. Sometimes the eye test is a little bit better than whatever to look at. Interesting perspective. Dr. Louis Amistoy, that we know that there, Louis Amistoy, who's done a few games. He often, and he's been kind of an insider as he worked at
Louis
the California.
Knows a thing or two
yeah,
about.
He's been around, but specifically, he's a volleyball kind of fan, and he was saying that among the best volleyball in the state is from this central section to look at right here. So it's very curious. I know we have our bias, our Bakersfield bias that we have on there. I'm sure Clovis has their Clovis bias. I do know this, that Central is the real deal this year. I do know that Buchanan's the real deal this year. So I think after 1 and 2, it's up for debate, and for, you know, people, that's what they get paid for those opinions and all that stuff to have on there. So,
yeah. So we're going to find out probably in another 2 weeks here. Again, next week, the last week of SWYL play, and following that, the playoffs will head into the month of November. And I don't know, do we have any playoff games on the docket for the Kern High Network, Kyle?
You know, we've been in discussions with CIF about some of those playoff games and all that stuff too as well. So we're looking at that, and it looks like we are going to have some games coming up on their stuff for football and all that stuff as well.
Fantastic.
Black Hole's kind of coming out a little bit. A few of the fans are getting a little rowdy, trying to get understandings of what officials going on. We're trying to see what's happening right here, trying to figure out, trying to understand the discussion. I think there's confusion all over the place from you and I up here, and from Coach Kolatz to Coach Parker, just trying to figure out.
There was something Maria didn't like, and she kind of stopped the game so that she could get an explanation as to who was determining what. And, of course, Sydney Richardson with a big smile on her face telling her, hey, Coach, he ain't changing his mind.
Yep.
Junior gave her 1. I don't think he's going to give her 2.
Hey, the Queen spoke. I thought you were supposed to make adjustments. You know, that's a tough call, though. It's like you don't want to get in the habit of every time a coach, you know, says something that you change your mind on. That's there. Right. So that's a tough situation to be in there.
Brooklyn Jackson with a big swing over there. Smart play by Natalie Code with the dink there.
Athleticism.
Good block at the net by Lauren Burt and Caitlin Tucker. Big block there by the Mustangs. And Code with a big swing, and another block by Tucker. And Tucker looks long, and she sends it wide. Point Stockdale. What a rally between those two teams.
Hey, and that got Coach Kolatz up there getting excited, slapping hands. I mean, that's one thing as a coach. And I'm going to tell you, you've been there before where you've lost your players and you're just trying to find that motivation. And you just love seeing your head coach take the lead and celebrate the successes no matter how they come.
Monisha Lewis back to serve now. Mustangs up 11-9 here in the third set, and that's an ace for Lewis. 12-9 now the Mustangs are up. Also back in the game for Stockdale, number 3, Shivanji Goswami. We haven't seen a whole lot out of Goswami yet, but the previous contests that we've played, where we broadcast those games, we've actually seen quite a lot of hitting out of her. So identity's still yet to be seen here for tonight's game. And Caitlin Tucker showing us a little something as well. Boy, she really got up on that quick set and put that ball down. It was right off the top of the passer back there in the first row. I don't know if they had time to even get up on the block. It came so quick.
Serving for Liberty, number 8.
Liberty trailing 12-10 here in the third set. Now serving number 8, Brenna Slayton. And Slayton sends that one long. A service error. And Amy Parker, once again, can't be too happy about that. Now in the game for the Patriots, number 1, Kiana Keelan. And serving for the Mustangs, number 4, Natalie Code. And a service error for Code. That's not normal. We don't see that very often out of her.
Especially with Code, who's kind of been Miss Reliable right there for the Stockdale Mustangs.
Now serving for the Mustangs, number 9, Sutton Coffee back to serve. Great save by Paige Camarillo there in the front row. Joust at the net, and that's won by Cammie Marion. Marion still hobbling around there in the front row, but boy, did she really get the block on that. Patriot libero Liana Caraccio back in the game, and now serving for the Mustangs, number 8, Ensley Chester. Chester, one of those players that's had to step up here with the absence of Macy Haddad.
Yeah, had a decent game too.
Richardson with the dink over the net. Ferreira down on the floor to get it. And a nice just over the net by number 6, Liana Caraccio. Caraccio handles that one easily in the backcourt. Cammie Marion really having trouble with that leg. Off the 1 foot, and she puts it down, and she's really hobbling around now.
And for Coach Colat, she's trying to get this victory this third game, and that's the last thing Coach Parker wants to do is drag this game into a fourth set, which she really wants to close it off in that third set. But
yeah, 15-11 here in the third set. Stockdale down by 2. Camarillo blocked at the net. Big swing. And you know what? Great vision by Ferreira there. Just looked over the net, saw no one in the middle, and just set it right over there.
And to me, it's like a quarterback going up to the line of scrimmage. It's a pre-snap, pre-hit read that you see on there. I know she's using her peripheral vision to look out there and see where the empty spaces are at on the Stockdale side.
Lauren Burt to serve here, trailing 12-15. And that one not handled very well by the passer. And Camarillo hits it right at the net and puts it down. But now, what are they calling? Are they calling that out of bounds?
Maybe into the net?
Well, Stockdale wanted it in the net, but the flag girl down on the side there, the line judge had called it out of bounds. And they're saying it's out of bounds. Point Stockdale. And now Amy Parker wants to have one of those Maria Colat's conversations.
Yeah, see what's going on. And they got to be able to do that. This is where I think the official needs to take the time and have the conversation and see what's going on right now. And it looks like Junior's sticking to his gun, saying it was out of bounds, even though there was a conversation with the judge over there.
And again, Lauren Burt's vision, just fantastic. Just dumped the ball over the net at the 10-foot line there.
It's like I blink and I see Ferreira, then I blink again and I see Burt, then I blink again. They just did the same thing back-to-back times. It's, they're thinking the same.
I'm pretty sure they practiced that.
Well, I also think, too, is like it shows the headsiness is, hey, you saw your teammate be successful at that. I can try and do that same thing right there as well.
Yeah, now serving number 7, Jaleesa Caraccio, sophomore defensive specialist. And the Patriots trailing 13-16 here in the third set, but up 2-0. Convincing victories in the first 2 sets. Won the first one 25-13 and the second one 25-15. And Ensley Chester, senior setter, sends that one long point to the Patriots. Caraccio once again to serve. And timeout is called. And I think that what we're going to see right now is that Stockdale, they've got a little bit of a lead here. They don't want to watch it evaporate too soon. So Coach Colatz is having a little conference right now with Cammie Marion, her sophomore middle hitter. And Marion's smiling and nodding as if she's here to stay. She's not going to let Coach pull her out of the game right now.
I've really enjoyed volleyball, but we got to digress just for a little microsecond. Dodgers are up 3-1 over the Cubs. How about this? Chris Taylor home run, Andre Ethier a home run. Andre Ethier, we haven't called that name.
I'm going to have to get out my Andre Ethier jersey. Holy cow, that's awesome.
Andre Ethier, we haven't heard that name almost all year, but up 3-1 right now. Amazing to look at. Now we get back to volleyball. I apologize. I just had to say that. Both Tom and I are big Dodger fans. Make sure we hear about that.
Looking everywhere for my phone because I'm waiting for a text message to come in, and I'm sure it's not going to be kind. I have several friends that are Cubs fans. One of them a teacher at Frontier High School, Mrs. Kathy Adams, and her message was, "Where did Andre Ethier come from?"
Yeah, I think we're all. Looks like a little push right there.
And it's going to be a double hit on the set there of Stockdale. You know, you don't see that very often, a double hit from the setter. That means that they just didn't handle it cleanly. And so some officials are a little more touchy about it than others, but, you know, first one we've seen tonight off of a set. Good serve there by Jaleesa Caraccio to set everything up. And the powerful swing by Elise Ferreira, and it goes out of bounds, and she'll get the kill. And we're tied up at 16 here in the third set.
I'll say this, Garces up 2-1 over Centennial. Centennial was able to sneak one out against him right now, so it's going into the fourth set.
Ferreira with a big swing. Can't be handled by Tori Perrier. And Point Liberty now, they're up 17-16.
And just like that, the switch of momentum. I mean, Stockdale had a 3-point lead, and now Liberty up 17-16. Coach Parker is probably wanting her team to play with a little bit of urgency right now.
Valdez.
And we see Stockdale, Valdez right there, hits it to a spot where Liberty wasn't, and we talk about where the spots and the lineups are right now. Great kill by Valdez.
Serving for Stockdale, Jay Johnson.
Johnson to serve. Once again, she's done a great job as the DS in the back row for the Mustangs today. And just committing, but not enough. The ball gets popped up right there. Paige Camarillo able to put it away. Caitlin Tucker back in the game for the Patriots. And back to serve number 6, Liana Caraccio, the DS for the Patriots.
If I'm Coach Parker right here, it's urging her team to finish off strongly.
And minimize errors.
Yeah.
Johnson, good job with the pass there for that ball that was awful high.
Wow.
And Ferreira, Elise Ferreira just putting the ball away. Tons of power behind the swing over there.
She's just so dynamic and is always moving her feet and getting set up for the best possible way. Whether she's setting, whether she's serving, whether she's killing, she gets her feet and her positioning the right way every time.
Yeah, that's a key to a great volleyball player, somebody that doesn't have cement shoes. And, boy, she's done a great job this evening of really moving around the court. Caitlin Tucker, big swing, great set by Lauren Burt. Good setup there. Lauren Burt and Caitlin Tucker have a way, a communication that is unspoken, where they just know what the other one's doing. And, you know, a one set, one of the hardest things to do because it's all timing.
Yeah.
And so being able to get up in the air and get there for the ball, it's almost like an alley-oop in volleyball. It is the alley-oop of volleyball. And there, we're seeing it right there out of Natalie Code. Fantastic set by Sydney Richardson. And Code puts the ball away. So we've seen 2 sets and 2 hits off of ones. A quick set by both squads. Stockdale trailing right now 18-20 here in the third set. Down 2 sets to none. And that one quasi-miss-hit by number 8, Brenna Slayton. And she gets the kill.
But you talk about that chemistry. It's like, so you have Ferrer and you have Burt. And what I like about Tucker is she kind of understands her role. That Ferreira and Burt are going to be the but when her opportunity to bring the hammer down comes, she delivers in a great way.
And where Caitlin has success is because she has Burt and Ferreira out there on the left side, and it's going to pull that blocker over. So if they think it's going wide, then it leaves her wide open in the middle. So it's kind of hard to plan when you got two people in the front row right there that are getting ready to put the ball away. So now in the game for Stockdale, number 1, Monisha Lewis. Also in the game, number 11, Brooklyn Jackson, and Lewis will serve here, trailing 19-21 late in the third. I was going to say quarter, like you, in the third set. Nice joust there, and that's won by Lauren Burt.
I got to give it up to Stockdale. They have been relentless all game, and they are just playing to the very last point. And I just give a credit to their attitude and effort. You know, when you're missing those trees up front, it's sometimes deflating, especially in volleyball, because you have to be aggressive at the net.
Yeah, and Brooklyn Jackson just did a great job over there on the right side, on that block. And, it's kind of tough. And Caitlin Tucker with a good block there, which was, a back row hit. And here comes Caitlin again. And that one's going to be right off the net. Right off the block of Code and down. So Tucker gets, once again, another credit for another kill. And Maria Coletz, trailing 23-19 here in the third set, wants to talk it over again.
Coaching all the way to the very end, and you love seeing that right there, is pulling Jackson aside, being uplifting, doing all that stuff. It's like, I love seeing that no matter what the score is, no matter how many sets you're down and all that, she's going to coach all the way to the end like that. So
yeah, we've got
good to see.
And she said something about her team, and I said this before as we talked about it. And, it's two separate occasions. Maria and I have had our little powwow before the game, and she said it then as she says it tonight. That team, those girls love each other. They have each other's backs. And, what a great example tonight. They're fighting. They're still up on each other. Nobody's barking at anybody else. What a great cohesive team that you just love to see. So I see good things for Stockdale, with Macy hopefully getting back in the in the good graces, and Naomi too. I think Naomi's going to be back sooner than Macy, from what I've understood, but we'll wait and see. But boy, they really need both of them as that powerful unit in that front row. So the good thing is it's going to be another season. They're going to graduate 7 seniors this year. But they have a lot of backup players that are coming up, and a lot of good players on the JV squad as well.
They'll refuel.
Yeah. And that's going to be a 4-hit on the side. And for Liberty, Liberty's got some talent. I mean, they're only going to graduate 3 seniors this year.
Yeah.
And then they've got 3 freshmen on the squad this year. One who's not on the squad, she's a transfer. Bree Rodriguez is coming over. She'll be playing next year. She sat out this year. And so, I mean, they've got some talent that's really young coming up on the squad next year. So, Amy Parker's doing a great job of reloading, and that's pretty much going to do it. So, again, the Liberty Patriots putting away the Stockdale Mustangs 3-0. And, boy, just, kind of what we expected tonight after hearing the issues that they were going to have with Macy Haddad being out, as well as Naomi Jennings. So, I mean, kind of what we expected all along, don't you think?
Let's get ready for this Tony's Pizza Player of the Match so that I could hustle down and give the pizza box. I'll go ahead and say my 33% right now. I'm going to call it out. It is we try to diversify, look at, but sometimes you just got to call the best player on the court, and the best player on the court night in and night out and has been getting the love, but just everyone needs to know is Elise Ferreira, number 5. She's my Tony's Pizza Player of the Match. She is the difference maker, and when you don't have your best player, a lot of stuff happens. So Elise Ferreira is my vote.
Okay. Kevin Willie, yours.
Yeah, I want to say, echo what I did last game we played with Stockdale. Johnson she just plays her heart out. I mean, she is all over those balls that go way out of bounds. She's right underneath them to knock them back in. But I'm going to go with Kyle on this one. I think Ferreira, she worked hard today, and she was kind of playing that role for Liberty. She was all over the place, setting those things and picking them up.
Well, and I'm going to, and I'll tell you what, there was a lot of, talent on the squad tonight. Some girls that we don't normally talk about.
I hate these volleyball games because they're all so good. I can't pick one.
You know, Brooklyn Jackson for the Mustangs came out of nowhere and really competed tonight and played really well. Cammie Marion on a bum leg. Cammie Marion only a sophomore. You know, what a fantastic kid. So, you know, I'm really impressed with how well she did. I think that, you know, she's got a big future coming up in the next couple of years. We saw a little bit out of Liana Caraccio tonight in the backcourt for the Patriots. Caitlin Tucker did a fantastic job at the net. And,
absolutely.
You know, it's just one of those things where you kind of, you know, you really look at that and you kind of, you want to vote for her. And so, you know, Brenna Slayton did a great job serving this evening. It really was an impressive performance on her part. So with that being said, though, Lauren Burt, of course, you know, you can't not mention her.
Right.
Lauren, you know, a former Tony's Pizza player of the game. So from what I can tell, I think that, you know, I agree with you guys. And, you know, I think Elise Ferreira definitely did a fantastic job tonight. She was all over the court, both setting and hitting. And what a great performance on her part. So, along with you, Kevin Willie, and Kyle Wiley, who is now down on the court getting ready to present it, the Kern High Network player of the game, Tony's Pizza player of the game, is Elise Ferreira. So a big congratulations to Elise. She's going to get the pizza box, the ceremonial pizza box from Kyle Wiley. And, you know, again, so a great game tonight, a fantastic game for us to broadcast here. Unfortunately for Stockdale, it was really sad that we didn't get to see Macy Haddad. We didn't get to see Naomi Jennings, and you know that's kind of a tough thing to see. So, Elise Ferreira, congratulations! You are the Tony's Pizza Player of the Game. Once again, we'd like to thank our sponsors for tonight's game: Kern Schools Federal Credit Union, the U.S. Army, Pav Solar and Communication, Premier Lighting, Tony's Pizza, and Raymond's Trophies. And, of course, we'd be remiss if we didn't thank our superintendent, Dr. Brian Schaefer, Assistant Superintendent of Instruction, Dr. Brenda Lewis, Assistant Superintendent of Educational Services and Innovative Programs, Dr. Dean McGee, and Director of School Support Services, Mr. Stan Green, the guy that kind of makes it all happen for us. You know, a big thank you for him and his support and everything that he gives to the Kern High Network. So for myself, Tom Myers, my good friend down on the court right now with our Tony's Pizza player of the game, Kyle Wiley, and, of course, my expert cameraman, Mr. Kevin Willie.
Never seen and often seldom heard.
And never duplicated. For all of us here at the Kern High Network, I want to say thank you all for tuning in. Good night and God bless.
Forgot how to get out.